Hello, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing okay. I know it's been a hot minute. I apologize about that. I just needed some time. I don't know what was going on. I am currently recovering from a cold, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. So before I went on my little hiatus, I had asked you guys what you wanted to see next. And the options were between a story time or a Q&A. So then I asked you guys to ask me some questions. So the first question comes from Pumpkin Guts on YouTube, and they asked, "How long have you been a furry, and when did you get a fursuit?" So it's kind of a two-parter, I guess. So I've been a furry for about 14 years, since I was 11. I don't know if that math is mathing, because I'm 25, so 14 years. I was 11, I think, something like that. I was in elementary school. Um, but yeah, so about 14 years. I did take a couple of breaks in between. Like when I first got into high school, I took a break, and sometime around middle school, I took a break. Shortly after graduation, I took a little break, but not like nothing super serious. Just because I just fell out of it. It's something that happens. I just fell out of it, didn't get super into it. And then something happens, it sparks, and they're just like, whoa, I forgot this was a thing. So I'm going to be a furry again. I mean, I never like left the furry fandom. I just went silent. I just didn't participate. But yeah, so now I'm back. And I think this is the longest I've gone without taking another break. And I don't anticipate taking another break. Because I love the furry fandom. This place is cool. And to answer their second question, when did I get a fursuit? I actually made my very first fursuit. If I have a picture of it, I'll show it here. It was a fox rat hybrid named Cry. There's actually two versions of the suit. There's this one, and then there's that one. That one I sold recently. The other one I actually ended up destroying to kind of take parts from there and put it to that one, if that makes sense. And then I had another fursuit that I had bought in the base of, and then I just put the fur on it, basically, named Dax. There's a picture of that one there. And then I have my most current fursuit, which is Bradley, my possum. Um, I have her still. I got her right around the height of COVID. I didn't spend a whole lot on her, to be honest. Like when I bought her, she was just a head and a tail. But yeah. So a couple of people asked why I chose a possum as my fursona. And originally my fursona was not a possum, it was a rat and a fox, like hybrid. But then I kind of grew out of the hybrids. I thought that was a bit much. So I went with a possum because I just think they're so cute and they're so like misunderstood, and everyone sees them and they think that they're gross, but really they just like want a vibe. And the fact that they just like involuntarily their body just like nopes out of any bad situation just feels so relatable to me, because if I go into flight or fight, there is no fight, it's all flight. And I feel like possums are a little more unique to the furry fandom than maybe rats or mice. And they're also, America's only marsupial, and that's cool. I also wanted a fursona that had a pouch so that maybe one day when I get a fursuit, like a full suit, if I do, I could have a cute little pouch put in there, and I think that'd be super, super cute. So yeah, so that's mostly why I chose a possum. There are probably other reasons. I just can't think of them right now. Broccoli the Bunny asked, if I could only eat one type of cheese, what would it be? Honestly, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but Kraft singles. I love Kraft singles. They're ooey gooey. I know it's not real cheese. Okay, I know it's not real cheese, but it's delicious and I don't care. When you make a grilled cheese sandwich with Kraft singles, it's over. That's the best grilled cheese sandwich you're ever going to have in your life. This is not sponsored by Kraft, but it could be. I love Kraft singles. I've really not tried a whole lot of cheeses, to be honest, like Gouda or any of the fancy cheeses. Blue cheese, I've had blue cheese. That's good. Um, I'm not like a cheese connoisseur. I do love cheese, but I, I'll just eat the cheese if I have it. And most of the time, what I have is Kraft singles. So Kraft singles is probably going to be where it's at for me. XO Candy Hearts XO on YouTube. They also asked me why I chose a possum for my fursona, but then they also asked, are you doing more roasting your fursona videos? Honestly, I might. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. If I do one, I'll let you know. If not, I probably won't, to be honest. It's just I get bored of the same old format, and there's only so much you can bully people about, like, characters being bland or, having weird pupils. There's only so much you can, point out that, it just becomes the same, especially when there's really only so much you can do with your persona, because if you're too unique, then people are going to bully you for it. If you're too bland, people are going to bully you for it. So there's really only so much you can do. But yeah. So it's a canine on Instagram asked, what is your biggest aspirations being a creator and what would you like to achieve as you grow? Um, I don't really know. I just like to make videos. I think it's fun. This is something I've always wanted to do. By the way, thank you for 500 subscribers. That's crazy. I never thought I'd get that far. But yeah, I've just always wanted to be a YouTuber, like a creator. I love creating things and talking to people, like different people from all around the world. I just like to do that, and I don't think I really have an end goal in mind. Um, I mean, it would be cool to be part of like the creator programs and stuff, just so I can afford to do cooler things. But other than that, I have a full time job. I'm going to school starting in the fall full time. I'm not going to have a ton of time to dedicate to YouTube, but I'm going to try. Um, but yeah, mostly just for fun. I just want to make people laugh and smile. That's what I like to do. And it makes me laugh and smile because it's fun. So, Shamrock Scales on Instagram asked if I have any pets. I do. I have four. I have a hamster named Ross. He's getting old. He's a very old man, but we love him. He's a sleepy, grumpy man. That's okay. I've never really gotten to handle Ross too much, to be honest, because when he was younger, he was feisty. He did not like me. He would scream at me when I would try to pet him. My partner, he loves. Now that he's older, he's calmed down a lot. I can pet him sometimes on his back, and he's just like, whatever. He's more focused on food or sleeping. Um, but yeah, so that's Ross. I have a fish named Hattori. She's a beta, I don't know how to say it, but she's cute. I've had her for a couple years. Um, she just got a new tank upgrade, and it's great. And then I have my cat Kyoto. Kyoto is 5 years old. He's actually a female cat, but we always referred to him as he, but we just kind of make the joke that he's a gender fluid kitty. So we really call him anything. But yeah, he's me and my partner actually got married on his first birthday. So we actually purposely picked his birthday to get married. So yeah, that's Kyoto. And then we have Kiba. He's my dog. He is a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. He's about 4 years old. But yeah, I actually have him with me because he's always sitting at my feet when I'm recording videos. I pick him up. Oh, there we go. Here he is. This is Kiba. He's my baby. You want to say something? You have any questions? You have any answers? You want to say anything? No? But yeah, this is my boy. That's my boy. Kyoto is actually behind the camera, but I don't want to disassemble this odd setup I have right now to show you him. And I don't think he would come to me. And then Shamrock Scales on Instagram also asked, what's my favorite fish species as an animal, not as food? I don't think I really have a favorite fish species. I mean, I really like betta fishes. They're just really pretty. I kind of like loaches because they look kind of like little water snakes. I don't know if those count as fish, honestly. But I like loaches because they just kind of do the wave. I don't know. They look like little water snakes, and I think they're really, really cute. I would like to get loaches one day because I think they're really, really fun to watch, but I know I don't have enough room for them. But yeah, so I think loaches are probably my favorite aside from beta. I don't know. I don't know, man. Finally, Wilbur Noodle on YouTube asked, what was my entry to the furry fandom? So basically, since I was very, very young, like I've always acted like an animal. I know that's normal for a lot of kids to like bark and say that they're a cat and act like dogs. I took it really, really extreme when I was younger, like to the point I was telling my parents that I would not eat if it wasn't like in a bowl on the floor. Um, and this continued for a very long time. And I would walk around on all fours. Um, it was, yeah, it was a lot. When I was about 10 or 11, I had my stepmom get me a tail, my very first tail. It was a solid white tail just on eBay, and I wore that thing everywhere. Like, I would not take that tail off. And then I was like, okay, I think it would be really cool if I had like feet paws or like paws on my feet. I was on the internet a lot as a child, like way too much. And I don't know why it took me so long to discover that there was like a whole fandom of furries. I didn't know what furries were until I started looking up how to make paws for my feet. And that's when I really discovered what furries were. Um, and then that just led me down the deepest rabbit hole. Not only was I looking at feet now, I was looking at fursuit heads, I was looking at fursonas, and I made my very first fursona. I started playing Wolfhome a lot. Well, not playing, it's not a game, it's a chat room. But I started using Wolfhome, and I started doing like playing Animal Jam and just all these animal things. I was so hooked onto it. Um, I fell in love with the furry fandom, and I never actually made my first pair of feet paws, which is kind of sad because that's really how I really, really got into the furry fandom, was looking up feet paws. Um, but I never made my very first pair of feet paws until way after that. But that was basically my intro to the furry fandom. Was just I was living on the internet essentially as a child, like 11, 10 or 11. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to dress up as a fuzzy animal. I think back then I definitely had more of the mindset that I actually was an animal part of me. Um, but obviously I grew out of that. Now I just find that the furry fandom is so creative, and as an art person, I've always loved art. I just really enjoy looking at all the art that the furry fandom has to offer, like physical art, like fursuits, or digital art, like pictures of people's personas and everything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And with that, that's my Q&A. Um, thank you guys for asking questions. Thank you guys for being here and for subscribing. I have 500 subscribers. That's crazy. Thank you for that. And so that was my Q&A. I hope you guys are more informed. If there's anything else you want to know about me, feel free to ask. So yeah, that's my video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.